top 5 hardest roles in League of Legends. Now, League of Legends is a really hard game, regardless as to what role you play, so let's get that out of the way first. But in my opinion, some roles are harder than others. This is purely my opinion. If you disagree, that is totally fine. This might be my most controversial video of all time, but I think the people need to know the truth. Number 5 is support. Yes, this role is hard. Every role in League is hard, but I think of all the roles, it is the most forgiving. However, if you have a bad support, it is the most obvious. So support, while being easy, if you're bad, it shows really, really hard. Also, this role might be the hardest to climb with, especially in low elos, but in terms of the actual difficulty of the role, I don't think it is that hard. A lot of the role is being creative and finding flank angles, or just being an enchanter and focusing on winning lane, because, spoiler alert, a lot of enchanters really need to win lane to scale. 5 is ADC. The hardest part about this role is that literally everybody wants to kill you. The micro is pretty unforgiving, and some lanes can be really brutal. Additionally, the mental aspect of the role is really, really tricky to deal with, because sometimes your support just abandons you. But the macro of the role, in my opinion, is by far the simplest. A lot of the times, it's just wave management bot lane, and then running mid, clearing a wave, and then like running to a side wave, or running to an objective. This role is really simple on a macro perspective, which is why it's number 4. Number 3 is jungle. Now just hear me out, right? When Ludwig hit platinum, he did so on jungle, and I don't think he could do so on any other role, because fundamentally, jungle has a very simple loop that doesn't really require you know other champions and what their kits do until a high elo, right? Jungle is full clear, and then you fight with your core abilities. And you can do that with a lot of junglers, right? If you play to their identity and you full clear, like with a Wukong or a Kayn or an Amumu, you will be strong and you will impact fights later on in the game. Now, the role does have a lot of complex macro at higher levels of play, and that applies to other roles too. ADC and support have complex macro decisions at higher levels of play. Jungle obviously has that more so than other roles, but that's all the role is. The micro is a lot simpler, which is why it's 3rd. Still very hard, League's a hard game, but not as hard. Now, I am very biased, but in my opinion, 2 is mid lane, because this role is about impacting the map, but you're not a jungler, which can be very hard. You have to keep yourself ahead because you are the secondary carry of the team next to the ADC in most games, right? So you have to be strong, but at the same time, the point of a mid laner is to impact the side lanes, even if you're a control mage that is very, very, very squishy. Now, a control mage has wave clear, right? But they still have to impact sides. A lot of assassins don't have good wave clear, but they also need to impact sides. That's what makes the role fundamentally difficult in my eyes. Additionally, a lot of mid laners can't just generate leads by solo killing the enemy champ over and over and over. You might get 1 or 2 solo kills, but after that, at around level 8, all champs can just clear the wave and leave. So you have to have really good knowledge of side lanes, really good threat assessment, because supports and junglers love to kill you. You have to be really on point with your ability usage or you will die. A lot of mid laners are very hard, which makes the hardest role in League of Legends, and I don't really think it's that close, it's top lane. This role is really, really brutal by design because top laners are masochists. You have to be very, very focused on your wave management. Matchups matter a lot. I think if you're actually playing tank top laners, this role might be 3rd, but if you're playing any other top laner, it's definitely 1st. If you fall behind, you will get dove on repeat with no forgiveness or margin of error. This role is so brutal. If you don't believe me, try playing Jax to Masters. It is absurdly, absurdly hard. It's also the role where counterpick matters the most. So 50% of the time, you're not going to have counterpick, and you're going to have to go into a really, really rough matchup. Godspeed, top laners. You're doing the Lord's work. Anyways, am I wrong, boosted, coping? Let me know.